Who was Wilhelm? He was Private Wilhelm, a hapless character in a 1954 B-Western, Charge at Feather River.
Wilhelm!
Yeah, I'll just fill my pipe.
Who takes an arrow in the leg, but who, more importantly, screams. The same scream uttered by another character later in the movie, and later by another. The scream is used 3 times in the 50s sci-fi giant ant classic, Them, one of them marking the demise of James Whitmore. In A Star is Born, the scream is front and center in a Judy Garland number. In the mid-70s, the scream had been out of use for about a decade when it caught the ear of Ben Burt, an uber fan of 50s B-movies who became fascinated by it. That's the same Ben Burt hired by George Lucas to design sound for Star Wars. It was Burt who turned a walrus call into the cry of a Wookiee, who distorted an elephant's call into the roar of a TIE fighter, and who turned an old projector and his TV set into the hum of a lightsaber. Burt adopted the famous scream and promptly found a place for it in Star Wars: A New Hope, and in every Star Wars film since. Burt named it the Wilhelm Scream and determined to trace its origin. At the Warner Brothers Sound Archive, he found the source recording marked "Man Being Eaten by Alligator." He learned the sound had actually been used 3 years before Charge at Feather River in a 1951 Gary Cooper horse opera, Distant Drums. For Burt and many other sound designers, the Wilhelm Scream became both an in-joke and a sort of audio signature. Burt went on to use it through the entire Indiana Jones series and its TV spin-offs. In fact, Wilhelm has now appeared in more than 70 films, from Reservoir Dogs to Spaceballs to Batman Returns. It gets better. Disney sound designers worked Wilhelm into their 90s animation blockbusters, from Beauty and the Beast to Aladdin to Toy Story. The Wilhelm Scream has appeared in the latter 2 Lord of the Rings movies, in Spider-Man, and in Titanic. In fact, listen closely, and you'll hear the scream in 4 of the 5 top-grossing films of all time. Who was Wilhelm? A forgotten voice actor hired to record a studio scream more than a half-century ago.
Wilhelm!
Resurrected by a now legendary sound designer and immortalized in many of the biggest films of the past generation. Just imagine what he could have done if he'd had an agent. For CBC Radio, I'm Mike Tennant.